I have been using the Cricut Foil Transfer Kit since it was released. I have put it through its paces, and today I'm sharing with you all my secrets to get fantastic results every time. Point number 1. When you are designing your projects in Design Space, you might be planning to combine more than one color of foil, or maybe you're going to use the fine tip and the bold tip in the same project. Please make sure that you always correctly assign each element of your project to the correct color and the correct tip. This will be important when you go through to make your projects, because Design Space will prompt you to load the color and the tip based on what you set it as on your Design Space canvas. So if you want your project to come out looking exactly as you planned it in Design Space, don't mess around with those colors and those settings. You definitely don't want to accidentally put down the wrong color of foil or the wrong size tip and just suffer the absolute tragedy that is wasted crafting materials. Point number 2, move your project on the Make It screen away from the default top left and more towards the center of the mat. You'll find this will make things easier for you when you have to apply the foil if that has to be done in the middle of the cutting process. Point number 3, this one is a good one. So when you are applying your foil onto your base, lay the foil onto your blank and then take a paperweight and place that into the middle of your foil. This will make it easier for you to apply that first piece of tape. Then when that has been applied, move the paperweight gently just so that you're not applying too much pressure onto the foil, and then apply the tape on the opposite end of the foil from where you've already put tape. We all know that this foil is super light and very prone to just flying away, so the paperweight helps it stay in place and allows you to apply your tape with no problems. If you are doing a project with more than one color of foil, or maybe where the foil has to be applied in the middle of the cutting process because let's say you started with a score line, you might have noticed it can be kind of tricky to do that because of course we need the mat to stay inside the machine to complete the whole project, but then it kind of hangs off the end of that drawer underneath, and so there isn't a stable surface for you to work on to apply your foil, and as we know, applying the foil is quite a delicate procedure. The advice that I have for this is grab a book or a box, find something that is, the right thickness to place underneath the mat up against the drawer, and then this will give you a really nice, stable, flat surface to work on while you're applying your foil. Make sure that you remove that book or box that you've used before you then continue the process, because it could end up getting in the way and, hitting up against the edge of your mat and just jamming the process. So remember to remove it too. If you are foiling onto cardstock, please remember to test the tape before you apply it onto your cardstock. So maybe try it on a little scrap and just see, can you apply it and peel it off without tearing? If it does seem too sticky, then reduce the stickiness of your tape by applying it onto some fabric. When you peel it away, it picks up some fibers from that fabric, makes it less sticky. Or use washi tape or painter's tape, which are also fine with the foiling tool and better for delicate materials like cardstock. Make sure when you apply your foil onto your blank, you do not allow the tape that secures it in place to cover any part of the design. So you need to really think about the way you've positioned your project on the Make It screen, and then make sure that the foil that you put onto the blank completely surrounds the area where the foiled design will be. If the foiling tip has to go over the tape in order to do the design, it just will not transfer. So you'll end up kind of having half of your project not transferred, and we just don't want to waste foil like that. Please try and avoid letting your foil touch the mat directly. This has indeed happened to me, and it has resulted in the foil being left on my mat. The mat is still usable, but if I were to put my whatever I'm cutting right directly on top of where the foil has transferred, then I'm quite likely to end up having some of that lift off onto my blank. So it's just not good to do that. This is why it's always important to have a project where the foil will go onto the blank, your cardstock, your sticker, paper, whatever you're using. Make sure that that foil is completely on that blank and doesn't touch the mat. Sometimes, of course, you might actually do a project where you are foiling onto something which is smaller than the foil sheet that you're using. So if this is the case, then what you should do is place your blank onto the mat and then surround it with something else like scraps of cardstock, and then apply your foil after that, so that, again, it doesn't have to touch the mat directly. Ooh, and please remember to move your star wheels over to the right and out of the way. As we know, the foil kit requires pressure to transfer the foil onto your blank, and those star wheels, if they're running up and down over your foil during the process, they're applying pressure and most likely will result in unwanted transfer. So that's it. I hope these tips help you guys to get just the best, most beautiful results with your foiling kit. Remember, you can always drop me a comment below if you have any questions, message me on Instagram. I'm on there at Rabia Khans. And yeah, I guess I will see you in the next video. Bye!